And we are live. Hey, what's going on, guys? We have only a 4-game slate to talk about, but this should be a pretty fun one, right? We have two really good games that I'm excited to watch with Lakers and Bucks, and then Clippers and Rockets. We got a couple not so fun game to watch, but there's some intriguing DFS plays. Again, we got about 35 minutes to lock. As always, we'll go over what we know. We're honestly not waiting on a whole lot. The last piece we're really waiting on is AD. He's available to play. Well, we can talk about it. Bear with me here, as a lot of this stuff is from Friday. Just scroll to the beginning of the day. Actually, basically all of it is Friday, because we weren't really waiting on a whole lot. The main one was Anthony Davis. Let's see. Friday. Trae Young was listed as probable. I wasn't too worried about that. He's available to play. So an interesting piece of information here is Bruno Fernando is starting for the Hawks. He is a flat minimum, so you can consider him. But honestly, I still don't feel great about it. They have two other centers they can use with Len, with Damian Jones. So he's a guy you definitely can consider, right? He's a flat minimum price. If he gets like 20 minutes, I think he can definitely get you there, but I don't think 20 minutes is a guarantee. So he's someone in the player pool that if you're going more stars and scrubs, you can throw him in there. I just don't feel great about how many minutes he's going to get. So Jazz starting Mitchell, Ingles, Bogdanovich, O'Neal, Gobert, kind of what we expected, right? So that's definitely a bump down in Moutier. I thought there was a slim chance he could start, but I think Moutier could come off the bench, maybe play like 18 to 20. I think he's an okay option. Again, the big news here was Anthony Davis. He's going to be good to go. Always a concern with when you play Anthony Davis is he's made of glass. He's coming off the ankle injuries. He had the shoulder injury he was dealing with. So that always is the concern. I think he goes very low owned tonight. Now, I'll be talking a lot in the GPP mindset. So since this is a smaller slate, I'm not going to be really focusing a lot on cash games, more GPPs. So I'm going to be taking ownership more into consideration for this slate. But let's go over the over-unders and spreads. I think, they're all out here. So Jazz, Hawks at 224. The Jazz are favored by 7. Lakers, Bucks at 227.5. The Bucks are favored by 3.5. Nets, Spurs, 219.5. The Spurs are favored by 4. And then the late night hammer here is the Rockets, Clippers, 235. The Clippers favored by 5.5. Definitely my favorite team right now to target for DFS is the Clippers. I'll talk about a lot. I like a lot of the Clippers here tonight. But, as always, we'll go team by team. And then once I break down each team, I can get to questions at the end. Again, we got about 30 minutes to lock, so let's just jump into it. First, we'll start with Utah. So Utah, there is a decent amount to like here. Probably my favorite play is Rudy Gobert here at 7.8K. Just a fantastic matchup against that Hawks front court. Fernando, Jones, Len, whoever they throw on him. I just think this is a really, really good spot. Atlanta gives up a lot of offensive rebounds. Great for Rudy Gobert, right? Rudy Gobert is not a guy they're going to feed a lot in the post, but he gets you there a lot with the offensive rebounds, the blocks, and stuff like that. So I like him a lot this price. And I talked about it if you guys watched my video last night, or I guess today for the slate. I'm still leaning towards the mid-tier approach. I think that'll be somewhat contrarian, right? I think a lot of people are going to try to get maybe a star or two in the lineup. As of right now, let me see. I don't have anyone over. Let me confirm this. Hold on. My lineup. My highest priced player is Rudy Gobert in my lineup. That is it. So I'm going very, very mid-tier. I think, again, that's going to be pretty contrarian. Now, again, obviously I'm fading the stars. I'm scared about it. Probably the guy I'm scared the most about fading is Giannis at 11.3K. I think he's going to be the most popular. And for his price, I think he's probably the best spend up if you're going to go that way. But yeah, like I said, I am sticking with the mid-tier approach here. Donovan Mitchell for 200 more over Gobert. Don't mind it. He gets a slight boost for sure with no Conley. Not like a huge boost, but he definitely does get a boost. 35 or so minutes. This is a great matchup. No issue if you want to go down to Mitchell. It's really close with Mitchell and Gobert for me. I'm just going to slightly lean towards Gobert as of right now. Bojan Bogdanovich is a guy I don't really like playing in DFS because he's so scoring dependent. He's had 40 and 48 fantasy points the last 2 games, and he's at 6.7K. So if you're a guy that likes riding the hot streaks, you can go for it. I just don't like playing these guys in DFS because if his shot's not falling like it was in these last couple games, we had 20 and 22 fantasy points. He can kind of hurt you. So, in this game against Philly, 10 fantasy points where he shot 3 of 11. Like, that can happen. But when he's knocking down the threes, he has the big upside. So he's definitely for GPPs viable, but I just don't like playing guys like that. But yeah, like I said, if you're a guy that likes riding the hot streak, you can for sure go there. I think he's a little bit underpriced right now for his level of production. Just not going to be the way that I go tonight personally. I would personally prefer Joe Ingles to Bogdanovich. I think he has a higher floor for sure at 6K. He's been getting huge minutes with no Mike Conley, about 35 or so. He's a guy that fills up the stat sheet, right? So I like playing guys like this compared to Bogdanovich because if Joe Ingles has a bad game, right, he'll still get you a floor somewhat high, right? Because he gets rebounds, assists, block steals. But on the nights where he's shooting really well, that's when he has the really, really high ceiling. So that's why I like playing these guys compared to the scoring-dependent ones. So I am definitely going to prefer Ingles to Bogdanovich for 700 less. And I like Joe Ingles a lot at that price. Royce O'Neal is a value play. I think he's viable for sure. I think he is up there with some of the top value plays. I think probably Patrick Beverley is my favorite value play, maybe George Hill, and then Royce O'Neal. But yeah, like I said, he is a very low usage guy, kind of like a PJ Tucker. But if he's going to get 35 minutes, I think he can probably get you, 20 to 25, I think is a pretty safe projection for him fantasy point-wise. So he stands out as a decent fantasy value play. Moody off the bench, a little bit riskier. I don't think he gets as many minutes as O'Neal. He's definitely a higher usage guy, but I think he gets about 18 to 20, somewhere in that range, and he's an okay option. I think Royce O'Neal definitely safer because he's going to get more minutes. Jeff Green is the flat minimum. I think maybe he gets about 20 minutes. You can look there too, right? You're not going to feel great about it, but the flat minimum price, he doesn't have to do a whole lot. So that's what I got for the Jazz. Probably my 2 favorite plays right now would be Rudy Gobert and Joe Ingles, but anyone really in the starting 5 is definitely viable. And then, O'Neal, Moody, and Jeff Green off the bench are in play as value guys. As far as the Hawks go, this is the team I have the least interest in. Trae Young at 9.8K is just not for me on this slate. Too expensive in my opinion. It's a tougher spot. And I don't see the upside in playing him. Like, if I was going to play more Stars and Scrubs approach, I would go Giannis first for sure for about 1,500 more over Trae Young. And then maybe like LeBron or AD, similarly priced to Trae Young. I just don't see the upside there in playing Trae Young. Now, he's going to be super low owned, I think. I think he goes sub 5% owned. So if you're making multiple lineups, you could throw him in there once. Like, he is a guy that if he's knocking down those threes, he can get you 50 to 60. I'm talking about a one lineup approach. I will not be going there personally. So Jabari is going to be coming out the bench at 5.5K. I think that lowers his minutes upside. I don't really have a lot of interest there. Hunter at 5.1. These other secondary pieces, I'm not super excited about. Herder, okay. He had a good game that last game, but I don't think I want to chase that. Really the wings, Reddish is starting, but he's a very low usage guy. You could throw him in there with those value guys you can consider, but I don't feel great about it. Really the wings, I don't have a whole lot of interest here for Atlanta. As far as the bigs go, so I'll talk about Fernando, right? He's minimum price, he's starting. The concern is they just have a lot of other bigs they can use. He's not really a high usage guy at all. If he gets 20 minutes, I think he can get you there, but I don't think that's a strong possibility just because, again, they have 2 other guys they can use with Jones, with Alex Len. Who knows? I honestly don't know what the minutes are going to be like for those 3 centers, so you can take a shot on one if you really want to. I just don't feel great. Obviously, Alex Len has the most upside, but he's at 4.5K. He has been playing about 25 minutes a game. Jones was a guy I was considering when I was coming off the bench. Again, maybe he gets a DNP. Who knows? So these Atlanta bigs don't feel great about it. If you want to take a shot on Fernando, Jones, or Len, you can. Just as talking as a one lineup guy, I just can't do it. So that's kind of it for Atlanta. Again, not a whole lot I'm excited about. As far as the Lakers go, so we got AD and LeBron at the top. I think LeBron is definitely the safer option of the 2. I do like his price at 10K. Again, it would be, if I was going more Stars and Scrubs, I would probably get Giannis number 1 and then probably LeBron or AD number 2, with LeBron being the safer of the 2 options. I just think he had a bad game that last game for sure. Shot the ball 8 of 20. Normally he's a guy that will get you like 50 to 60 fantasy points. This game should stay close too. I think he plays the big minutes. So I have no issue if you want to go LeBron. Now Anthony Davis I think was a lot lower owned just because of his injury history, right? I think a lot of people are scared about it. The ankle, the shoulder. He's made of glass. I think a lot of people are going to prefer Giannis over him, which I think is probably the safer play. But if you're a guy that's taking ownership into consideration, I think Anthony Davis was a lot lower owned. And I still think he has some upside here. So if we're talking about safe spend-ups, again, for stars, I think it's Giannis, LeBron, and then AD. But I think AD will be the lowest owned of those three. As far as the bigs with Dwight Howard and McGee, they're priced up from that last game when Anthony Davis missed. I have no interest in them at their prices. Rondo at 4.8K, I do have some interest in him. I think he's the guy who gets about 25 minutes. He's a guy that fills up the stat sheet, right? Assists, rebounds, doesn't necessarily have to score to get you there. I think he's definitely viable of those cheap options, right? Like Patrick Beverley is going to be the highest owned of those guys. But you could pivot off Beverley and go Rondo for 400 more. I don't hate that idea. Now Rondo's not going to play as many minutes, but I think he's a higher usage guy compared to a guy like Patrick Beverley playing alongside Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Lou Williams, Montrez. So yeah, I think Rondo is an interesting pivot off of the high-owned Pat Beverley. As far as the secondary pieces here for the Lakers, I never really have a whole lot of interest in, especially now with Anthony Davis playing. Like KCP, Danny Green, Avery Bradley. If you want to take shots on those guys, if you're making multiple lineups, you can throw them in there. Like one of those guys will probably have a decent game. It's just they're very, very scoring dependent. All of them not playing huge minutes, but if one of them can get hot, we've seen it like before. Like Danny Green, I think that first game of the season had a big fantasy point game, so he's just knocking down the threes. I just don't feel great about any of those guys, so I can't recommend them with confidence. But I get it if you want to go there if you're a guy that's making multiple lineups. But that's what I got for the Lakers. As far as the Bucks go, again, if you're making more of stars to scrubs approach or want to get one or two of those stars, I think Giannis is probably the safest option here at this price. Always the issue with him is just the blowouts. But this game, the Lakers should keep it close. They should, right? The Clippers came into town and they blew them out. That game should have stayed close. So you never really know, but this has a good chance to stay close in my opinion. I think it's like a 3-point spread. 3.5. I'm really excited to watch this game. But yeah, Giannis is probably the safest spend-up option here at 11.3K. I think he's the guy that has the most upside, and he's the guy that I'm the most scared about fading. So I think he's going to be the highest owned, and I do think he has a pretty big upside. So, I think he is, if you're going with a star, I think he probably is the preferred target for me. But again, I will not be going there. I'm definitely scared of fading Giannis, but again, I'm going a little bit riskier with the GPP approach for tonight's smaller slate. Now, Middleton's a guy I do have some interest here at 6.3K. No Bledsoe. I think he gets over 30 minutes in a close game. Now, it's not really the best matchup, but at this price, I do like him a good amount. So, I think Middleton is a very, very solid play at that price. As far as like the wings here, like DiVincenzo, Korver, Sterling Brown, Wes Matthews, Connaughton, not a whole lot of interest in those guys. I do have some interest here in George Hill, no Bledsoe. I think he's a guy that gets about 25 or so minutes, and he's a really interesting pivot off Pat Beverley too, right? I talked about Pat Beverley is going to be the highest owned guy for sure as far as value guys, but I have some interest here in George Hill, and if you want to pivot, I think he's a very, very good pivot for $100 left off of Pat Beverley. So yeah, George Hill and Rondo are the pivots right now off of Pat Beverley, in my opinion. You can play two of those guys if you want to, for sure. I think those three value guards I do have a good amount of interest in. As far as the bigs, Brook Lopez at 4.2K, I think he's okay. The Lakers run big. Maybe he gets a few extra minutes. He's just not a guy that has huge upside. But at this price, right, 4.2K, he's not going to kill you, in my opinion. Like 11 points, that's really the floor for him. I think he's a guy that probably gets you 20 to 25 at this price. So I do have him in those, tier of value guys where, they're up. They're probably the top tier of the value guys, where Beverly, George Hill, Rondo, maybe like a Royce O'Neal and like a Brook Lopez, right? So I don't mind Brook Lopez. Ilyasova is a riskier option here at 3.6K. He's not going to play the huge minutes. He plays a lot of backup just to Giannis. But he is a guy that does have upside, right? If he's playing well, maybe he gets extended a little bit. The Lakers run big. Maybe Brook Lopez gets in foul trouble. Who knows? But I do have some interest there in Ersan at that price. And that's really it. Like I said, the wings don't have interest in Corver, Matthews, Connaughton, Sterling Brown, or DiVincenzo. So yeah, it's Middleton and Giannis at the top. I do have some interest there in George Hill at that price. Don't mind Brook Lopez, and then Ilyasova as a riskier option there at 3.6K. Next game here is Brooklyn San Antonio. So this game intrigues me because I think it's going to be the lowest owned game of the slate. I think, like I said, a lot of people are just going to target the other games. Houston, the Clippers, Lakers, Bucks are going to be fun games to watch. I think a lot of people are going to target people in those games. The Utah side against Atlanta, there's a lot of appealing options. So this game, I think, goes the lowest owned. But it does have a lot of fantasy appeal, in my opinion. So, Dinwiddie at the top here at 7.9K. I think he's a pretty solid option. He gets 35 minutes or so in a close game. This is an up-tempo game. He's been really safe, too. I think he probably gets you 35 to 45 with upside for a little bit more. So I think he stands out as a pretty solid play at that price. As far as the bigs, it's always the same thing here. With Jarrett Allen and DeAndre Jordan, I think one of them will probably have a really good game. It's just tough projecting the minutes. Now, Jarrett Allen had the big game the last time out. He had 35. That game did go to overtime. But we have seen DeAndre Jordan have the big game as well, right? And then he will get extended a bit if he's having a good game to 22 or so minutes. So both those guys are definitely in play. Now, I'm going to lean towards Jarrett Allen just because he plays more minutes, but he's also more expensive. But yeah, both centers I think are very viable. Both have upside. The risk is, they're kind of going to ride with the hot hand. Taurean Prince is an interesting buy low option. I think he goes a lot lower owned because he just had an off game that last game against New Orleans. 35 minutes, only 22 fantasy points. But he is kind of like the number 2 in the offense with Dinwiddie. So don't mind taking a shot there. Again, I think recency bias will lower his ownership. The other guys, Joe Harris, Garrett Temple, I just don't like playing these guys. They're such low usage guys. Their prices are somewhat up. I get it if you want to go Garrett Temple. He probably gets about 30 or so minutes. I just think I would prefer Beverly. I think I would prefer George Hill. I think I would prefer Rondo to Garrett Temple. And then, as far as the really cheap guys, maybe Wilson Chandler gets extended a bit. He actually hasn't been playing bad. 19 and 18 minutes, 17 and 15 fantasy points. But I can't recommend that with confidence. And that is what I got for the Nets. So again, this game is interesting. I think it was a lot lower owned. I have some interest in Dinwiddie at that price. The 2 centers, Taurean Prince is a buy low or, as a lower owned option. And that's kind of what I got for the Nets. As far as the Spurs go, I have a good amount of interest there in the big 3 with Aldridge, DeRozan, and DeJounte Murray. I think my favorite being DeJounte Murray. Now, he is going to be pretty popular in my opinion. He's played 31 and 29 minutes back-to-back games. The issue with him early in the season was he was just on a minutes limit. He was getting about 20 to 22 minutes. He started the last couple games, got 31 and 29. The concern is it is Greg Popovich, right? I think this game against Cleveland, he started, only played 17 minutes. So you never really know what the minutes are going to be like for him. But if we're just going off the last 2, I think he gets about 28 to 30, somewhere in that range. And this is a up-tempo game against the Nets. I like his upside. He's a guy that fills up the stat sheet. So I do have a good amount of interest there in DeJounte Murray. I know he's going to be high owned. I'm probably going to eat the chalk here with him. He's one of my favorite plays at that price. As far as the other 2 of the big 3, I think Aldridge would be my next favorite here at this price at 7.3K. So he's playing huge minutes, getting close to 40, honestly. And this is, again, it's an up-tempo game. Great spot here for Aldridge. He goes a bit lower owned in my opinion. And that's why I said this game intrigues me because a lot of those guys go lower owned. But I do like Aldridge a good amount at that price. DeRozan, probably my least favorite of the big 3. I don't mind him. I just think, DeJounte Murray playing more minutes definitely, hurts him the most. So that's how I kind of rank it. I think I'll go DeJounte Murray, then Aldridge, then DeRozan. But I do like Murray and Aldridge a good amount there. I think Aldridge goes a lot lower owned than he should be, in my opinion. The secondary pieces, these are guys you can take shots on. I just don't feel great about it. No one's going to play, more than 20 to 25 minutes. I think Rudy Gay is the most upside, but again, not going to get more than 20 or 25 most nights. Patty Mills, the minutes have been all over the place for him. 32, then 19, right? So it's you can take a shot there, but you're not going to feel great. Derek White probably gets about 20 to 25. Another one of the guys you can consider. Forbes, too. These are guys you can take shots on. Kind of like those Lakers secondary pieces, right? Those are never guys I can recommend with confidence, but if you're making multiple lineups, you can throw those guys in. A guy that does intrigue me a little bit here is Jakob Poeltl at 3.4K. I think he goes super, super low owned. But, Brooklyn is a team that runs two traditional centers with Jarrett Allen and with DeAndre Jordan. I don't think they're going to have Aldridge out there the whole time at center, and I don't think really Trey Lyles matched up too well against those two. So this is a game where I think Jakob Poeltl could play more minutes, maybe close to 20. So he's an interesting, GPP dart throw there at that price. Lonnie Walker, the minutes went down. I don't think I could do it. Trey Lyles, not really for me. So that's what I got for the Spurs. Really, the guys that I had the most interest in is DeJounte Murray and LaMarcus Aldridge. Last game of the night, we got about 15 minutes before lock, so I'll try to hurry up a little bit. Houston, Harden's going to go super low on because he's definitely overpriced, right? And everyone's going to go Giannis if they're going to spend up. I think people are going to go Giannis, then LeBron, then AD. So Harden goes a lot lower owned in my opinion. I think he's probably sub 10%, but he can always have that 80 to 85 fantasy point night. It's a tougher spot, but if you're taking ownership into consideration, I think he goes very low owned. Westbrook, don't mind him at 9.3K. I'm not going to go out of my way to get him in, but I think he's an okay option. My favorite Houston guy is definitely Clint Capella at this price at 7.6K. An up-tempo game. Clippers struggle, defending the center position. I think the minutes will be locked into about 35 to 40. I have a lot of interest here in Clint Capella at that price. One of my favorite plays of the night. The cheaper options with Tucker, McLemore, House. I think Tucker probably is the safest because he's going to play the most minutes, but he's a lower usage guy. Again, if you get there, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to say he's a great play. McLemore and House, a little bit riskier. The minutes aren't as high, but if these guys get hot, they can get you there. So you can throw them in there, that tier of guys you can take shots on for value plays. But all in all, really my favorite play here for the Rockets is definitely Clint Capella at that price. Harden is interesting because I think he goes very low on the slate. But that's what I got for Houston. Finally, the Clippers. So this is my favorite team to target here for tonight. I like a lot of the Clippers. Let's start with Pat Beverly, who I think is probably the most popular value play at 4.4K. I think he gets over 30 minutes. They're going to need his defense to guard Harden and Westbrook. And, I just think he's a guy that fills up a stat sheet. Now, he's a lower usage guy playing alongside, the high usage guys. But still, at that price, in this up-tempo game, I do have a good amount of interest there. I know he's popular, but I do like him. The one concern is him and Westbrook really don't like each other. I think there's a slight chance they could get ejected, honestly. Like, they really don't like each other. So just put that in the back of your mind, right? Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, love both these guys. Two of my favorite plays as well. Two revenge games. Lou Williams is way too cheap in my opinion at 5.9K. Up-tempo game. I think he gets about 30 minutes in a close one. Love Lou. I love Montrez. I think Montrez gets over 30 minutes. Those are two of my favorite plays as well. And I like Kawhi and Paul George too. Both underpriced, so I like a lot of the Clippers. I think you can probably play 3, maybe even 4 if you really want to. But all of them are underpriced. Kawhi and Paul George I have interest in as well. Really like Montrez, really like Lou. I think Patrick Beverly is really solid value play. The other options, Harkless, like Magruder, don't want to go there. Zubac, not for me. I just prefer Harrell for about a couple thousand more. So that's what I got here for the Clippers. Definitely my favorite team to target tonight. But let me see if we got any more news. Again, we're not really waiting at anything, but let me see if we got anything else. No, that's basically it. So let's get to some questions here. Again, if you guys are enjoying the content, would really appreciate if you could hit that like button, but let's get it. Dangerous to fade Murray in cash. I would be kind of scared. I think he's going to be pretty high owned. It's a great matchup for cash games especially. I would be a little bit scared of fading him. Gobert or Mitchell? I'm going to slightly lean towards Gobert, but I do like both. What do you think about George Hill, Lou, Paul George, PJ Tucker, Harrell, Patrick Beverly, Giannis, and Rondo? Yeah, I like that a lot. DK, who's in your line right now? I can't tell you who's exactly in my lineup, but I don't have anyone. Again, Rudy Gobert is my highest price guy at 7.8K, and my lowest price guy is Pat Beverly at 4.4. So I'm going very, very mid-tier with this lineup tonight. I think that's going to be contrarian, right? I'm really scared about fading Giannis. I think if you're playing cash games, you probably play Giannis. He's the safest spend up. But that's just, I'm taking a stand and going a little bit contrarian tonight. I'm personally not playing the slate. College basketball DFS for me. Let's get it. Yeah, I might get into college basketball since I have a little bit more time now. We'll see. What small forward do you like? Let's see. We'll go to small forward. I like a lot of the small forwards. Giannis at the top is the safest option for sure, and then LeBron. I think those two are the safest spend ups if you want to spend up. I like both the Clippers guys. I like Chris Middleton in the mid range and Joe Ingles. Those are probably my two favorite mid range guys. Don't mind Taurean Prince. PJ Tucker's an okay value play. Royce O'Neal is a value play. Don't mind that, but that's kind of my interest level for small forward. There's a lot of guys to like, honestly. Beverly, I think Beverly is going to be really popular tonight. Kawhi plus Hill or Ingles plus Dinwiddie for cash. That's really close, man. I think I will go Ingles and Dinwiddie, but I like both options. Lou Will, Allen, or Dinwiddie and Hill. I will go Lou Will and Allen there. AD and Paul George season coming. Alex Caruso or Ersan Ilyasova. I will go Ersan there over Caruso. AD goes a bit low round. I do like Paul George, so no issue with either of those guys. Prince, Giannis, Gobert, or Bron, Harrell, PG. I will go LeBron, Harrell, and PG there. Dinwiddie or Mitchell. Again, that's really close. It depends. Like, how many Utah guys do you have in your lineup? If you have like 2 Utah guys in your lineup, then I'd probably go Dinwiddie. If you have no Utah guys, then maybe go Mitchell. 80 plus watching, only 13 likes. Let's show DK some love. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, I would appreciate if you guys could hit that like button. Again, all free content here with the normal videos plus the live streams, plus answering you guys' questions on Twitter. What do you think of Brook Lopez? I think he's definitely in play as those value guys for sure. I don't think he's going to kill you. I think he gets about 25 minutes and probably gets you 20 to 25 fantasy points. So he's definitely a decent option. He's in that range with Pat Beverly, with George Hill, with Rondo. He could look like Royce O'Neal even. Capella or Gobert. You're killing me with that because I have both. I guess I'll go Capella just because there's some blowout chance for the Jazz blowing out the Hawks. So I guess I'll slightly go Capella, but I love both those guys. Wilson Chandler, decent value at 3,500. I think you can take a shot. I can't recommend it with confidence, but he's been playing decently well. If he gets like 20 minutes, okay, right? DiVincenzo or O'Neal for cash. I have the salary for both. Well, if you have the salary for both, I would go DiVincenzo, but I'm not super excited about his price, right? At 5.2K, I know he's had 2 good games, but I would just much prefer to pay a little bit extra for a guy like Middleton or Joe Ingles. But between those 2 guys, I will go DiVincenzo. His salary doesn't matter. Again, Capella, Gobert. That's almost a coin flip, but I'll go Capella just because there's some blowout chance for the Jazz. Macklemore, Len, or O'Neal and DeAndre Jordan. I will go Royce O'Neal and DeAndre Jordan there. What about Trae Young versus no point guard for the Jazz? Yeah, he's a guy that if you're making multiple lineups, you can definitely take a shot on. Probably like my least favorite spend up, but I think he's going to go super, super low owned. And, he can always have that breakout game. No matter the matchup, if Trae Young's knocking down those deep threes, he can get you 50 to 60. I just think the safest spend ups are probably Giannis and then either LeBron or AD. And then if we're talking about, if you consider Paul George and Kawhi spend ups, I like both those 2 guys a lot as well. Giannis or Harden for cash. I think it's definitely Giannis there. I've got both. Just wondering what you thought. Yeah, I have both too. I will give the edge to Capella slightly. Rondo over Tucker. It depends. I think Rondo's a bit riskier. Tucker's going to play more minutes. So I think it's Tucker for cash games, but Rondo for GPPs. Prince or Harrell, definitely Montrez there. Capella, 20 rebounds versus the Clippers last time. Yeah, I really like Capella. Just the thing with him is he's going to play huge minutes, right? He'll get 35 to 40 in my opinion if the game stays close. It's a up-tempo game. The over/under is sitting at 235, so it's the highest over/under of the night. I just think it sets up for a great game for Capella. Rondo or George Hill. Both those guys are really similar, right? Both are going to come off the bench. Both are going to play about 25 minutes or so. That's really almost a coin flip for me. I think if you have the salary, then go Rondo, but those two are literally almost identical. Rondo, Dinwiddie, George, Tucker, Gobert, Murray, Ingles, Hill. Yeah, I like that a good amount. That's my GPP lineup thoughts. I have no issue with that. Again, you're kind of going in my direction too of more of the mid tier, fading Giannis, fading LeBron. Again, I'm pretty scared about fading Giannis. If I was playing cash games tonight, guys, I would play Giannis. But I'm just going with a riskier approach since I'm doing GPP only. Screw it, I threw up a lineup. DeJounte Murray, that's what I love to see. DeJounte Murray, Lou, Middleton, Harrell, Gobert, Pat Beverly, Ingles, Capella. Alrighty then. Yeah, I love that. Herder or Rondo. I will go. I'll go Rondo there for the price savings. Again, I wouldn't chase that Herder game. It's a tougher spot. But yeah, like I said, the good thing about this slate is we're really not waiting on any injury news. Pop the new physio. Ain't no telling who's going to get the minutes. Yeah, it's a little bit risky, right? But I think if DeJounte Murray gets close to 30, I like him. I know he's going to be pretty popular, but yeah, I'm with you. Completely fading Harden, ABC, LeBron, Leonard, Westbrook. Again, it's risky for sure, right? The guy I'm the most scared about fading is Giannis. Yeah, I'm going GPP, so that's why I leverage the field 100%. I completely get you then. What's up, homies? Let's get this check in. Going with mid-tier balance tonight. Mitchell, Beverly, Ingles, Bojan, Capella, Lou, O'Neal, and Aldridge. Yeah, I like that. You have 4 Utah guys with Donovan Mitchell, Ingles, Bojan, and O'Neal. So that is a little risky, but it's a great spot. If Atlanta can keep it close, I think you're completely fine. Again, there is some blowout risk there, but yeah, if Atlanta ends up getting blown out, you're probably going to lose. But if they can keep it close, don't mind that. Kevin, what mama don't order? I love it too, lol. Yeah, I think you get me, so no. Let's just say it's very, very, very similar lineups. Do you feel it's George or Kawhi game? I keep going back and forth. Yeah, I mean, that's tough to like. They're both really similar. I can't feel like confident about saying one over the other, right? I think that's so tough. I will go Kawhi if you have the money, but it's a $700 difference, right? Like I really don't feel. I can't feel like confident saying one over the other. Going with Jakob, pray for me. Hey, I mean, like I said, I don't mind taking a shot there. We'll see. I mean, it's Popovich. You never know. I just personally think he matches up the best with those Brooklyn centers. And if he gets like 20 minutes at 3.4K, he can definitely get you there. So it's a risky option for sure. Murray or Lou Will. If we're taking ownership, both are going to be pretty high owned, actually. I will go Lou Will because I think Murray will be a little bit higher owned, but I got both in my lineup right now, so that's also very tough. I lean Kawhi, but it's basically coin flip. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. Kawhi and Paul George very, very similar. $700 discount. I think Kawhi's got a little bit more upside, but he's also more expensive. Hot hand plays in San Antonio a little bit. Definitely. So it's DeJounte Murray, I wouldn't be like completely shocked if he gets limited to like 23 minutes or so, right? It's Popovich. But that's what, kind of what I got. So we can go over some ownership in the early game. Jazz and Hawks. Let's see. Thank you, good sir. Good luck tonight. Yeah, good luck to everyone. I love Ben McLemore tonight for some reason. Then, hey, go with it, right? Like, he's in that range of guys, him, House, those Lakers secondary pieces where one of them gets hot, they can get you there. Switching Donovan for Dinwiddie, not to be so Utah heavy, LOL. Yeah, I think that's a good perfectly good option because you had 4 Utah guys. I'll let the games begin. All right, let's see. Bucks are starting their normal 5: Giannis, DiVincenzo, Matthews, Middleton, Brook Lopez. Let's look at some ownership in the $40 single entry here. I only got 2 guys going in this game. I got Ingles at 26%, Gobert at 36%. Let's take a look at some other guys' ownerships. Kevin Huerter picked up 16%. Yeah, okay option, I guess. I'm not super excited about him. Royce O'Neal, 27%. I get that. He's going to play the big minutes. Again, he's kind of like a PJ Tucker. Moody at 2%. Donovan Mitchell at 31%. Again, it was a close call with Donovan Mitchell and Gobert for me. Trae Young, 6%. So that's kind of what I thought, right? I said sub 5%. He's at 6%. Bruno Fernando, 31% owned. So, hey, Pete, so that, in this $40 tournament, if Bruno Fernando is 31% owned, that makes me feel like a lot of people are going stars and scrubs, which I'm fine with, right? I think the mid-tier is going to be contrarian. So with Fernando at mid-price being 31%, I think that's what a lot of people are doing, at least in the higher dollar tournaments, which I don't have an issue with. Again, I think I'm going to be somewhat contrarian going mid-tier. Cam Reddish, 29%. Yeah, so guys are taking shots on these cheap guys. So that makes me feel, again, Giannis is going to be super high owned. I think, one of the Lakers guys is going to be pretty high owned. If Giannis goes crazy tonight, it's probably going to be an L. But I'm taking a stand, again, going a bit risky, and we'll see how the night goes. But Lou Will or Montrez, I think Lou Will has a little bit more upside, so I will go Lou Will, but I love both those guys. Good luck, DK. Hope no blowout, foul trouble, and injuries. I hope so, man. Bojan, 55%. Wait, is he really? Is that in what tournament is that in? Or is that cash games? I haven't seen him yet. Or I can't find him at least in the $40. Alex Len picked up 8%. I don't know why I can't find Bojan. Jeff Green, 2%. DeAndre Hunter, 10%. Balance lineups for the win tonight in Yahoo GPP. Oh, Yahoo. Okay. I would say I don't see him at all in the Draftkings at least. But yeah, I think I'm gonna hop off Bojan, 20%. So yeah, don't hate him. He's a little too scoring dependent for my liking. But I'm gonna hop off here, guys. I'll have my video up for the big slate on Friday later tonight, so be on the lookout for that. But good luck to everyone. Let's win some money, and I will see you guys tomorrow.